We're up. Just going to chat tonight, so if anybody's expecting any projects, I don't think it's going to happen. Figured we'd just do some chatting tonight, especially about that Briggs issue. Gonna bring everybody up here. Was it Wednesday night? Wednesday. What an adventure today with that Briggs. Just, that tractor. At least now I have a flat bottom tap. That's pretty cool. Need that from last night. One person. Who's here? Anybody? I think I'm going to put the flat bottom tap here. Put the new, that way it's there, and I'll put the new tap back in the case. Cool. Wow, slow night. Nobody wants to come on and chat. Oh, gotta get the garbage. That's probably Mason. While we're chatting, might as well do a little bit of organization down here. Actually, you know what? Get it, bring those upstairs. I don't need them down here. We're going to slowly this week get the house to where I want it. It's real slow, but that's okay. Still only one person here. Maybe that's even me. Who knows? Nobody here. It's weird. Yes, no specific agenda tonight. Just figured come on and chat about what I did today. But maybe nobody wants to chat. I don't know. I think what happens is YouTube hasn't been giving out good notifications lately. I think everybody's getting notifications late. Actually, I'm low on the old battery here, so let's hook that up. There we go. Actually, the reason I have the 272 down here is because it runs, and it runs pretty strong, but it tends to die. The idle just goes lower and lower and lower and lower until it eventually just dies. And I can't seem to tune it out. So, actually, the helicoil thing is interesting, so hopefully someone can remind me. I did that today. So anyway, so I can't seem to tune it out. So I don't know if it's the carburetor or what, but I'm going to change out the carburetor. Lost one. Hello. We're just chatting tonight, and apparently nobody else has showed up yet. So if there's anything you want to talk about, let me know. Or you want me to talk about, or you want to ask, or whatever. I was just mentioning that the 272, I can't seem to tune the idle high enough so it actually idles right. So I'm just suspicious that something's up with the carburetor, and I've got a brand new, actually I should get 2 brand new ones on the way. So that will be hopefully later this week. I do have the 288 cylinder head on its way, which is exciting. What else do I have going? You like working on older saws. Define older saws, Lost One. What do you mean by older saws? I mainly work on the Husky 2 and 3 series. That's for the most part what I do. And generally it's on the 3 series, although there's certainly models in there that I haven't gotten to yet. Most of these I just don't need to. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that I could work on, but I just don't have a need for certain things, you know. Need more sandpaper, that's for sure. I really need to find my 13mm deep socket. I don't know what happened to that. And my 5mm T-handle. Don't know what happened to that either. Max 555 home light. Super easy. My dad loved his Super Easy. Have a 372 X-Torque that's new, want to get it modded. My suggestion on the 372 X-Torques is I'm not convinced that that modifying them really is going to be the ticket. There's not much. They're not easy to modify. The original edition 372s were no problem, but the X-Torques make it a little bit harder to fiddle around with. So personally, I would, if you want to fiddle with something, then the original edition 372 is going to be where it's at. They're actually, it's the same chassis, but it's very different saws. I think the X-Torques are fine if you leave them stock. You know, you don't, for what they are, they're fine. If there's any indication of a bearing issue, you want to get in there and do that, but... Whoa, who's that? Yeah, it's the nylon cages that can be an issue. It's a bit of a controversial topic, but me personally, I like the metal cage ones. So I crack cases at the drop of a hat, but that's just because I have the toolkit to do it. Or rather, I made my own toolkit to do it, so. And I sell my own toolkits to do it. So yeah, I'm hoping on the 272 that a brand new carburetor fixes the problem. Sorry about the moon ruins. My name is High Car Gas Mask Reptilian. Okay. You want to ask any questions? Go for it. We're mainly chatting about. Well, I mainly do chainsaws, so if you want to ask a question about women, I can't help you. Let's look at my 036, my favorite saw for now. You might have better luck modifying the 036. And if you don't have the stuff to crack a crankcase, it really isn't that big of a deal. You can just follow my videos, and if you need a toolkit, you let me know. I saw a guy actually. I worked on a chassis to take a 036 to a 440. So it's a hybrid. We actually put a 440 top end on an 036. I did the chassis work to get that done. Yep, I used to hang out around Arborside all the time. I still do. I'm there. I'm on OPE most days, hanging out. Good spot to read up on things. What I tried to do with the channel here is actually make this effectively a repository of information of all the stuff that I learned on over years of reading on Arborist site and and OPE forum. And it's always a work in progress. Does Muff Mod help them? It can. I'm not. I had an X Torque. It's now gone. Would I open up the muffler? Sure. I just open up right. I basically take the screen out, open up underneath where the screen is, pretty much as big as you can, and then put the screen back. That way you still run a screen. You can go on an X Torque and grind and whatnot and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but I'm just not sure that I'm not sure you get a lot of gains on that. It's a lot of work for not much gain, you know. Yeah, you can add deflectors and you can open up the muffler and do all kinds of crazy stuff, um, and see if it really helps you. And if you want to fiddle around with something, get a highway muffler. Get one of the aftermarket mufflers. The highway mufflers are actually pretty good for that, and use that for modification rather than modding the OEM one. Oh, somebody else is here. Who's here? Anybody else show up? I don't know what it is. Normally we have tons of people on. I don't know what the deal is tonight. Yeah, so you use an aftermarket one to modify, grind on, fiddle with, whatever, you know. This is an aftermarket 288 muffler. I got ears on. Nice big holes in there. Well, that will let me work on what side? What am I doing? What have you volunteered me for? No, you were planning to use the existing, the 288 diverter in place of the original. No, that won't work. You can weld it in place, but you'd have to grind the old one off, and there's not a whole lot of point. And I don't have the carburetor for this yet, and I unfortunately don't have the cylinder head for the 288 yet, which is basically the other things that I'm working on. I can tear down a 044, an old school 42, but I'm kind of waiting on that. I'm not feeling it tonight. You might not have room for it on the side. The 288 mufflers or deflectors are designed to be screwed down. And the original 372 muffler does not have a spot for screws, essentially, so you'd have to make it. You got to get the screw inserts or something like that, and that would actually nutserts or whatever to pop them in the side of a muffler. It ends up being quite a bit of work. On the 288 muffler, I've got the room. On the 372, you might not. If you're a sheet metal worker, then use regular sheet metal. Don't spend $18 on the 288 deflector. There's no point in doing that. Yeah, if you can do that, do that. Barry BTV. Who's Barry BTV? And where's my usual guys tonight? We're just chatting about saws here a bit. Holy Fays are out here tonight. I don't know what that means. I don't know about an insane chainsaw. I'd say this is a little bit more insane. No, that's a 394. Not too crazy. Just a rebuilt 394. A lot of money went into this one. But yeah. Yeah, one of my subs is supposed to buy it. Supposed to come up with the money first. I got this, I got another one. I actually have three 394s for sale right now, including this one. I love 394s too. If I had to pick a favorite saw, I'm pretty sure that would be it. So far, I'm much more with no spaces. I'm much more into the Husky stuff in general. I tend to think that it's easier to work on. Just my tendency to kind of that's my bent, if you will. Um, just check the head bolts here. It's tight. I haven't really gotten into the steels, especially like the 460s. I have not gotten there, so I'm whatever. Some people are really into those things. It just hasn't been me. Husky stuff is basically where I started, and I've dabbled in some of the steel stuff, and I still end up back with the Husky stuff. Yeah, I basically build them all. And they're, you can get the X-Torque bottom ends are effectively the same. They have a little bit more of a cutout. You can use an OE head on an X-Torque bottom end. It's just a little trickier to go from a X-Torque top end to an original bottom end because you got to grind out a few spots. I don't think the Chinese bottom ends are bad. If you want to make them a little bit more robust, you can get Japanese bearings and an original crank, but the crankcases seem to be fine, and they're pretty inexpensive. The piston is heavier, but I don't think the X torque cranks are different. I really don't think so. I use the cranks interchangeably. Still got compression. Oh, jeez. Four people. Who showed up? Getting a kit saw, changing the bearings, crank, etc. But I'm not around an area where saws are used a lot. We'll probably have to buy a new OE crank. eBay has lots of cranks, 372 cranks. And one of the tricks is search for 365 cranks. Somebody might put a 365 crank on there, but they're the same, so use it. 30, 35 bucks for a used one. Four people are here. Who else is here? This is a slow night. Usually we have 15, 20 people on. All right, I guess I think I'll call it then. Time to go rest up. Long day tomorrow, and if I can, I'll be live tomorrow night. But who knows? If anybody has any questions or comments, they can always email me. Put my email in here. If anybody wants tools or anything like that, they can email me. Just get rid of the extra ampersands. So you're getting a kit saw, change the bearing. Yeah. Kit saw is not a bad place to start. You can always change stuff out as you need to. First change I would make is a wrist pin bearing. But I wish you guys best of luck, and I'll say goodnight for now. And thanks everybody for hanging out. So if anybody needs anything, email me. Be safe, everybody. Take care.